So we looked over in the US, and there were lots of big independent podcast companies that were doing big deals for premium shows. In the UK, you had a little bit of that, but it was the market, and still is to a certain extent, dominated by Acast, Audio Boom, a company called DAX, which is owned by Global Media. But they really dealt with everything, and so they only really sold premium sponsorships for their premium top 5% of shows. And if you weren't in that top 5%, you kind of got left behind and you weren't really catered to. So we needed a bespoke podcast only advertising agency that didn't really deal with technology, didn't really kind of accept everyone and everyone. And at the time, Megaphone hadn't even set foot into Europe. So we were one of the first networks to use Megaphone as a open platform for our shows, which meant that we could also program in the back end of sponsorship deals. Because Acast at the time anyway, you didn't have access. There was no transparency to the deal. So even if you did a deal yourself as an independent producer, you had to give a percentage away to Acast because they programmed the deal. Whereas Adelicious, philosophy is podcaster first, which means that if a podcaster does a deal, they get 100% revenue because they can program in the advertising, they can do everything. We give them full transparency in all the rates. We try, because we don't accept everyone, we try and only grow as we grow, so we can take care of everyone on our network, and we can give them time, communication, and everything you want as a podcast producer. So we felt that as podcasting was becoming more of a mainstream media, there was a bigger need for a more bespoke, more premium curated podcast advertising network in the UK. Because basically we just looked at the States and saw what was happening there, and we just thought, well, it's going to follow. And it's still the case for today, really.